guys, I have my next lapidary project lined up, ready to go. This will be lapidary project number 8. A little background behind this piece. My wife found it on a rock hounding trip. It's her biggest, best piece, so it's been her main display piece in the living room. And I've been trying to get her to let me polish it, but she really didn't want me to because I have to use the steel grinding disc to knock down the rough edges on the top, and she's worried that it'll break it apart more. And it can, but she finally gave me the go-ahead to knock it out. So let me show you what we're going to be working with today. This is the piece right here, and you can see this big chunk right here is already broken. That piece fits nice and tight. It's got some druzy quartz up in here, and on the inside as well there's some druzy quartz. I'll show you that again another time. There's no sun out right now. It's towards the end of the day. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this really tight with tape so that I can polish the entire surface of it with this piece in place. That way when it's all completely done, you'll be able to remove this piece off and on to kind of get a good idea of what it looks like on the inside untouched. And then you can see the perimeter is all bark all around it. Pretty cool. And then let me show you the colors on this girl. See some white and maroon in there, and then yellow on the top there. Unfortunately, like I said, the sun's not out. Here in a minute in the video, you'll see it in the sunshine. You'll see just how cool and colorful it is. But there's all kinds of yellows and pinks, oranges, reds, browns, caramels. It's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna do the 8-step 50 grit all the way to the 6,000 grit pads. We're gonna start with the 2 steel diamond discs, and we're gonna be using the Makita wet grinder. Let's go ahead and get started on lapidary project number 8. That took a while, holy moly. All right, so what we've done so far, let me peel this bad boy off, is we have completed the 50 grit polishing pad. Look how thin that is. As an example, a full one, it's about that thick. So I went ahead, I did the heavy grit steel disc, I did the medium grit steel disc, then I went to the 50 soft diamond pad. I have left 100, 200, 4, 8, 1500, 3000, and then the 6000, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it on the buffer, and then after the buffer, the polisher with the cerium oxide. So far, this is what she's looking like. The sun's not out right now. It's being blocked by cloud cover, so we're not going to get the direct sunlight on it, but it's what it looks like wet. So far, so good. Rounding up the edges a little bit. I went ahead and taped it up, as you can see. I wrapped tape all around it, and that's because, like you saw in the beginning, this corner piece here is loose. So I wanted to make everything solid and held together nice and tight while I polished it, especially with the steel diamond discs. These things, they create some serious havoc when they're grinding on the initial piece. Anything's gonna break off of it, it's gonna break when you're using those steel discs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started now with the 100. We'll just slap that right up on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and get started with the 100 diamond disc on this piece of petrified wood from the southern Nevada desert. All right, let's continue. All right, nice. That is it for the 800 grit. This is so cool so far. It's looking awesome. So that's the 800 grit. So far we have done the 2 steel disc. We did the medium, the heavy. We did the 50, 100, 200, 400, the 800. What's left is what I like to call the 3 polishing levels. I refer to these as the grit grinding. These ones I refer to as the polishing. The 1500 I like to call the polish. 3000 I like to refer to as the high polish. The 6000 I like to refer to this as the ultra high or ultra fine polish. And that's it so far. So far we are done with 7 of the steps. 3 left to go, and then I'm thinking of the very last step will be some cerium oxide. A little bit of high polish on it with some cerium oxide. So let's put this in the sunlight real quick. Oh, let's not drop it. So that's what we look like so far. It's slowly drying. Let's see what it looks like, how shiny it is dry. That's the goal. Make it look wet when it's still dry. We are getting there. See, still got the tape on there, holding it all together. Once we're all done polishing it, we'll remove the tape, see what she looks like. So there we are so far. It's supposed to be, it's Sunday right now, supposed to be about 105 today here in Las Vegas, Nevada. But you can see it's got a good gloss to it already. Come on, sun, dry, dry, but awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. The last 3 steps, 15, 3000, 6000, then I'll go ahead and bring you back, show you what we look like. All right, finally, get a little bit of a rinse on her. That's about 7.5 around there hours on this piece. That is done with the 6000 grit. All right, let's do something here. Let's do something here. Let's cut away the tape. without cutting the fingers off my hand. Alright. Now let's see if it falls apart. We're going to have little bits and pieces come off. But we're hoping for nothing major. And of course, where the tape sticks, I'm going to take the buffer to it and buff the outside area. Alright. So once I buff the outside area, that'll remove all the tape that stuck to it and clean it up a little bit. Let's give it a good little jet spray down. Oh man, this is looking awesome. Woo-wee! Alright, let's clean her off pretty good. Alright. Alright, and then for the surprise piece, this piece is supposed to break away. Woohoo! Alright, perfect. Okay, let's spray that down real quick. Little fragments out of there. Alright, then we're going to take it to the light, dry her off, and see just how awesome she turned out. Alright, that's good, that's good. Alright, let's take this piece over there. I'd be ashamed to drop it right now. That would be terrible. Okay. So far so good. Then the other piece here. You can't see it now because it's all wet, but there's druzy quartz in here. Druzy quartz on the inside here. And of course, again, it's wet, so you're not going to see it bling in place. But this piece just kind of locks in place right there. It don't go nowhere. But look at that. Okay, so far so good. Alright, let's dry it off. The key to this game is, can we make it look wet even when it's dry? That's how shiny I want it to be. And look at that. Look at that. She's so pretty. Look how shiny she is. Completely dry. Completely dry. This piece comes off a little. I think that's way cool. You can see what it looks like on the inside, what it looks like polished. That's awesome. And it just locks in place. Let's dry that up a little bit. That's cool. Let's see. Can we get in there to see the druzy quartz? Oh, we're not going to be able to. She's all wet in there. But right in this area in here is all druzy quartz. And when I try to get in there, I block it with shade kicks in there. But she's awesome. This piece locks back in place. That's where she goes. It's all amazing. Alright guys, that was about 7 to 8 hours on this piece. I did the 10 steps. The final step was the 6,000. We did the two still. We did the heavy grit, the medium grit still disc. Then we did the 50, 100, 200, 4, 8, 1500, 3000. Finished her off with the 6,000, which I like to call as the super fine or ultra fine polish. And look at just how good it comes out. Looks wet even when it's dry. Amazing. The wife's gonna love it. Alright guys, this is Lapidary project number 8. Can't wait. Move on to the Lapidary project number 9, then 10 and 11. I love this stuff. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to like my videos. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good week.